Hello and welcome to Keepsales. Now in this video, we will be looking at some guidelines you need to take notice of when importing your stock into Keepsales with Microsoft Excel. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, we'll be looking at certain guidelines that should guide you when you are importing your stock into Keepsales using Microsoft Excel. So let's click on the main menu, you click on stock, and then you click on add new product. Okay, so under add new product, we come to import products with Microsoft Excel. Okay, so over here we'll be downloading our Excel template. Okay, and then down here there's a download instruction. Okay, that we always have to take notice of. All right, so when you click on it, I've actually opened one here. When you click on it, it downloads, and then you are able to view your the guidelines. Okay, so it says that Sumundi Keepsales Excel import upload guidelines. So these are the things that you would have to take notice of when you are uploading your products using Microsoft Excel. All right, so we'll be taking them one by one and I'll be demonstrating them. So in order to do that, let's click to download a template. Okay, so over here you see that we have a template available, so we click to open the template. All right, now once we have that, you click to enable editing. All right, so we are going to go into the guidelines. All right, so the first thing we have to take notice of is to not leave any columns empty. Okay, so let me try and fill the tables with some items. Let me open this. Okay, so over here I'll be able to have access to an example of certain products. Okay, so let me copy everything here. So usually when you are transferring your file from one Excel to the template, all you have to do is to just copy and then paste everything here. So you realize that under the product name we have this, under the product batch number there's expiry, there's unit selling price, and all that information. Okay, so our first guideline, no, okay, so our first guideline is to not leave any columns empty. Okay, to not leave any columns empty. Now what do we mean by columns? All right, so when you are filling, you have to make sure that your product names, there are no spaces anywhere in any of the columns. Okay, you can't be filling let's say, let me shift cells down. Okay, so you can't be filling the table with your products and then you decide to leave one like this hanging. Okay, so you are not supposed to leave any column empty. All right, so that's the first thing you have to note. So always make sure that when you have transferred all your data, there are no cells which have not been filled. Okay, so shift cells up. All right, so you always have to make sure that there are no cells which haven't been filled. Okay, now let's go to the next. It says, and make sure to choose a product category on the upload form to avoid upload errors. Okay, sorry, we'll look at that. So always make sure to choose a product category on the upload form to avoid any upload errors. Okay, so we'll look at the point number 2. So leave the expiry date field empty for items that don't expire. All right, so this is the expiry date portion. Okay, it's giving you a format. If you are going to input your expiry date, first you have to make sure that you clear this away, so that you only have the date with the zeros attached. You can ignore the zeros. All right, now if you are going to upload any product without expiry date, this must be empty. This whole column must be empty. But if you are going to apply expiry dates, then you have to make sure that every single item has expiry date. So either it's going to be full with expiry dates like this, or If your items do not have any expiry date and you are using Excel, you make sure that this whole column is empty. Okay, that is what this point actually means. Okay, so let's go to the next one. It says if you are providing expiry dates for item, make sure that the date format strictly follows what is shown in the sample template seen sheet, as the software will reject all wrong formats. Okay, so let me get to that. All right, so you notice that there's a format, there's the year, okay, 2020. This is the format. Okay, usually when you download the template, it gives you the format. Okay, so then there's the available, there's the year here. Okay, so if it's something else, you can input. Then there's the month, okay, and then there's the day. All right, so it has to follow this format. Okay, take note of the hyphens. You are not supposed to enter maybe a different format like this. Okay, or you decide to do it, let's say 20th December, sorry, 20th 20th December 2022. No, this format is wrong. You always have to stick to the format that is provided if you are going to input expiry date. So the year hyphen the month hyphen the day. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. It says that do not leave any batch number field empty. You can provide random batch numbers for all your products, but no two products should have the same batch number, as the software will automatically reject one of them. Okay, so it's talking about the batch number portion. You have to always make sure that the batch numbers are not the same. So for instance, over here you see e-cake 1234 and e-cake 1235. So the first thing is always make sure you provide a random batch number. Okay, so even if your products does not have batch numbers, okay, usually you can just create like a random batch number. Let's say I decide to create LMPC yeah, LMPC 1234. Okay, and then just to create a random, you just drag this, okay, to the end. Okay, so once you've done that, you are sure that the numbers will not repeat. So there's LMPC 1234, which is different from LMPC 1235, which is different from LMPC 1236. Now, the moment two batch numbers become the same, like you have LMPC 1234, LMPC 1234, okay, or a number of products having the same batch numbers, okay, Keepsales will reject one and then take one. It will automatically reject one of them and then take one. So always make sure that all the batch numbers, one, you provide all batch numbers, you don't leave any cell empty, provide any random batch numbers, and then no two batch numbers or multiple batch numbers should be same. Every single product should have a separate batch number. If you have your own batch numbers that you want to provide, you can also do that, but always make sure that they are different. You can also use the barcodes, okay, to scan your batch numbers as well, but always make sure that they are not the same. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they are not the same. Okay, then we go on. It says if you do not have the cost price or the wholesale value for a given product, they make it the same as the unit retail price. Okay, so when you come here, okay, Keepsales allows you to enter, the retail price. That's the selling price. Okay, how much you are selling the products for. Then there's the wholesale price, and then there's the cost price. So what this instruction means is that in order not to leave any column empty, okay, so like we illustrated, if always make sure that there are no cells empty. If there are items that do not have expiry dates, we make sure that you delete them. Okay, so over here it says that the unit selling price, if you do not have the wholesale prices, okay, or even the cost prices, you just have to make sure that the unit selling prices, you just duplicate them across board. Okay, so you can just copy, okay, what you have under the selling price and then just replicate it for the wholesale price and then the cost price. Okay, if you do not, that is if you do not have a wholesale price list or a cost price, always make sure that you just repeat what is under the retail price. You come and fill the same thing here and then the same thing over there. Okay, so always make sure that all those places are filled. Okay, so then we continue. It says importing cells with values calculated based on a formula produces an error. If you have any formula calculated values, kindly copy and paste as values. Okay, so what this also means is that, let's say, let me create a new Excel sheet. Okay, so let's say I'm entering, okay, this product. Okay, let's say Pepsodent toothpaste. All right, and then I decide that, okay, so let's say the quantity is 4. Let me drag this down so that it's easy to understand what I'm saying. 4. Okay, so product name, quantity, let's say total, so selling price, cost price. Okay, so let's say the product is toothpaste. The quantity is 4. The quantity is 4, and then the selling price for one product is, let's say, is 2 cedis. Okay, so we want to find out the total selling price, okay, for everything. So you decide to, use a formula. Let's say uh 2 times, or let's say, yeah, let's say 2 times 4. Okay, it gives you a certain, or right here you notice that the formula is here. Okay, if we, let's say we decide to repeat it over here. Now when you are pasting this, okay, information, when you are pasting this information and you are transferring them to the template, you always have to make sure, okay, that, okay, you have the formulas are entered as products. Okay, you always have to make sure that formulas are entered as values. So instead of the equals to 2 times 4, okay, it's not supposed to appear as this, okay, or any kind of formula that you use. It has to rather have, the actual value, which is 8, okay, and the same for here, the actual value, which is 8, okay. If you don't do it that way and you paste it, okay, with the formulas, when you try to upload it on Keepsales, it's going to give you problems. So usually what you can do is, if you have Notepad, okay, Notepad always neutralizes all formulas. So if, let's just say, let me go back to what we were doing. Okay, so let me go back to here. All right. Okay, so let's just say we are going to repeat this. So let's say 2 times, I have 2 times 4 equals 2 times 5. All right, so what I'm going to do is, let me see. No, 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 no. Okay, let me see if it's going to, okay. It's not doing what I want it to. Okay, so, okay. All right, so let's just say it's this way. Okay, you notice that all these, okay, they all come with formulas. All right, so if you are going to copy and paste, let's say these particular values under selling price, when you copy, you go to Notepad, you paste it under Notepad, okay, then you select them again, Control A, you copy it back, and then when you come to your Excel, you come to paste it under the selling price. Now you notice that you don't see the formula here as before. Okay, you only see the value instead of the equals to 2 times whatever, whichever formula that you use. So it's a very, very, very important note that you have to take note of, that anytime you're uploading values, Okay, you have to make sure that the values are in actual values and not in formulas. Okay, so let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. Okay, so I can close this. I can also close this. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next, which is if you do not have quantity values for a given product, kindly input 0. Please do not leave any column empty. Okay, so like I've been repeating over and over and over again, anytime you are filling in your values and then you don't have any particular value for any product, you can just put in 0. Don't leave any column empty like this. Always put in 0. All right, put in the zeros. Okay, all right. So once that is done, always make sure, usually the templates come with product, and then you are not supposed to leave any cell empty, so we have to get rid of this as well. Okay, so we have cross-checked our expiry date column. With our product doesn't use expiry date, so our expiry date column is empty. Apart from that, we don't have any other empty places. Okay, so once this is done, you just save it. Okay, and then now back to point 2. Okay, back to point number 2, step number 2, which is that make sure to choose a product category. So when you've clicked on import, okay, you always have to make sure that you choose a product category where you are going to upload your product. Okay, so once you've clicked on that, then now you can go ahead to choose the file, okay, that you want to upload. Okay, and then okay, once you click to open, you click on import product. Okay, and then it tells you that the products have been successfully imported. Okay, so this is all for the taking note of the guidelines. Okay, that we need to know to import our stock. Okay, so in this video we're looking at some guidelines, okay, that we always need to take notice of. These are very, very, very important guidelines so that you don't always have to have issues with uploading your stock into Keepsales. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a long video, but I believe that it was worth it. I'll see you again in our next video. So do have a wonderful time, and bye bye.